What's up, guys? It is July encasing time. I know I just dropped my June one, I think over a week ago, but I was really late to the game. But I figured I was going to get on the ball this time, and we're going to actually put this thing out at the beginning of August. And also on these lists, I include everything I've watched. So you will see the new releases from July, but you will also see older movies that I've watched, just because it's a way for me to kind of recommend movies that maybe you didn't see, right? And it just makes it more fun for me. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna jump right into this list, but also hit the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't. All right, constant content on this channel. We're moving forward. Let's fight that algorithm. These lists are really fun. Let me know your favorite movies of July as well. But you know what? I'm looking at my list right now. I have 14 movies for you on this list. Okay, so we're going to get right into it. The last one, these are in order too. Number 14 will be Happy Gilmore 2, and I'm going to be upfront with you. I did not even finish this movie. I made it about halfway through. I am a massive fan of the 90s and 2000s Adam Sandler, but what he has been doing ever since he jumped onto Netflix is collecting a check, and there's no passion in let's just get all my friends together, let's give them a check, and let's be as lazy as we can possibly be when we write these scripts, okay? Because Netflix is going to say yes, because you're going to watch it, right? Because you got nothing else to watch on Netflix, so you'll go ahead and watch the new Happy Gilmore. Plus, you're probably a Happy Gilmore fan. I'm a massive Happy Gilmore fan for the first movie. This was unwatchable. It was absolutely horrible. There were a couple of funny moments to chuckle. The moment where the golf cart slams into the other golf cart, I did laugh out loud at that. But it's just an unorganized mess of a movie. And it's not even what you would call like a good hangout movie or anything. It's just bad. And you just get tired of it, and you just want to go on with your life. Number 13 is Jurassic World Rebirth. I just haven't been the biggest fan of a lot of these later movies, although I did go back and rewatch all of them up until Rebirth, and I did gain a new respect for some, like Fallen Kingdom. I never thought I would come around to Fallen Kingdom, but I surprised myself. I did a little bit come around to Fallen Kingdom. But I think Rebirth, it aims for the right thing. It keeps it simple. You do get some dinosaurs in there for fun. But you just get paper-thin characters, and I think it almost goes a little bit too simple in nature, which makes it kind of forgettable. I think that's the biggest crime of Rebirth. When you compare it to the rest of the movies, it's pretty forgettable, okay? I know that some people did like Rebirth quite a bit. I like dinosaur movies. I'm not like a fanatic of them or anything. My son definitely was, growing up with those movies. But, yeah. This is just, it's one of the weaker Jurassic movies for sure, but they'll make another one because these movies make so much money. Okay, number 12, I'm going to give you an older movie. I just watched this for the first time last night, At Close Range with Sean Penn. I've just been in a Tubi mood lately, and I like watching those older 80s movies, and sometimes it'll be a movie that I didn't see that I've heard about. And At Close Range is based on a true story, but if you do some research, they definitely take some liberties with the story. And the story itself, it's tragic. I'm not going to spoil it for you. It's got a very tragic ending. And at its core, it's kind of just a love story between Sean Penn and, the love interest in the movie. She was also in some kind of wonderful... Her name escapes me right now. I don't know what... It always does, because she has one of those three-word names, like Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio. I think her name is Mary something. I always forget. You'll let me know in the comments. I think the movie does kind of drag a good bit. There are some charming moments for sure. I will say, and I don't know if this was a Tubi problem, but a lot of times I couldn't understand what the hell they were saying. It felt like they weren't projecting enough. And you got Christopher Walken in here, who does play a pretty scary dude. He's the father of Sean Penn's character, and he is like the worst father imaginable, okay? I'm not saying Christopher Walken does a bad job, or Sean Penn. Matter of fact, there are some moments, especially in the last act, that are Oscar-worthy, amazing performances. But there are some moments where it felt like maybe they needed to speak up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it was my sound bar. I don't know. Okay, number 11. I'm looking at my list, and I can't believe I actually put this here. It might be a little bit above number 10, but we'll keep it as is. The new I Know What You Did Last Summer. So I guess I liked a lot of movies from the month, because I like the movie. I do, and I like that they had the balls to do what they did in the last act. I won't spoil that. You know, it was good to see Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. back, but more importantly, I definitely liked the core cast, the young cast for the most part. I think the two female leads were very charming, and I was rooting for them. So, you know, that goes a long way for me in a slasher. I think there were some cool hook kill moments in the movie. And you know, some of them are a direct kill, and some of them are kind of like off screen. But there's one moment where you know, you have two characters hanging upside down from a hook that was definitely a fun game changer of a time. Game changer of a time? What the hell am I talking about? But yeah, overall, I had a decent time with it. It's a solid like 3.5 out of 5. Which brings me to number 10. We're in the top 10. Superman is number 10. And I know I gave this movie a really good review on the first watch. When I watched it again, I was kind of annoyed by it. It's just too James Gunn. I think even the characters that I like in the movie, they don't get to shine enough. And Superman himself, I think, takes a backseat in the movie. He does have some nice moments, but when I think of Superman, I definitely think of, I guess, grandiose, right? There weren't enough grandiose moments with the character. And I think David Cornsweet's a great actor. But I just did not dig this movie. It really annoyed me, the tone of the movie. And don't get me wrong, I like a lighthearted Superman movie that's filled with hope. But I didn't get, you know, I guess the chill bumps that I usually get in a Superman movie. And I know people are going to compare this to Man of Steel. I far more enjoyed Man of Steel, and I far more enjoyed the Christopher Reeve first two movies, for sure. Number 9, Cant Buy Me Love. I'm all over the place on this, I know that, but Cant Buy Me Love is just a fun 80s comedy. Of course, it stars a very young Patrick Dempsey. Amanda Peterson, one of the very few movies that she did, she tragically passed away quite a few years ago. But, you know, she just succumbed to some hard times in life, which is a shame because she is so charming in this movie. And it's, you know, we've seen this plot so many times where the cool girl who's in the popular group, she needs a favor, and so she hangs around pretty much with Patrick Dempsey's character, and she ends up falling for him, right? But this movie's just very charming. The dance scene, I guess it's like the African Chaka dance or whatever. That's kind of like a funny moment in the movie, but I always have a good time with Cant Buy Me Love. Number 8, Urban Legend. I was definitely in a 90s mood, so you'll see some 90s movies on here. With I Know What You Did Last Summer coming out, I went back and watched a few of these. Urban Legend is definitely one of my favorite 90s slasher movies. This one I'm going to spoil because it's an older movie. I love Brenda Bates as a killer. I think they should have brought her back. And I'll go ahead and lump the second movie in here too, because I did watch the second movie, which is really bad. It starts off really strong, but then it just goes horrible. But the first movie, I think it's just a very solid 90s slasher. You got Jared Leto in there, who's definitely the red herring of the movie. You're thinking probably he could be the killer. I didn't think this movie has one of the best openings of the 90s as well, with the killer in the back seat. And then you got Brad Dourif, the great Brad Dourif, the gas station attendant that's got the stuttering problem. So much fun to be had in Urban Legend, for sure. Great kills. You got Tara Reid, you got Danielle Harris in there. What else can I say about Urban Legend? I think it's a classic 90s slasher, but they just never were able to capitalize on the sequels. And number 7, we're going to go Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is the better movie over Superman, for sure. And I do think this has that grandiose factor, which has never really existed too much in the previous Fantastic Four movies. But this is the best Fantastic Four movie. And I've still only seen it once, but it definitely stays with you. And I have been thinking about it ever since I saw it. I do think the movie does have its problems. I don't think the first family are the most interesting family. But I think they made them as interesting as possible in this movie. But really, it's the spectacle of this, just the world building, the alternate Earth, set with a 60s type vibe. It just felt like its own world apart from all of the rest of the MCU, which was very refreshing. And Galactus, boy, did they get him right. I could have watched Galactus on screen for half the movie. He was menacing. And, they got Ralph Ineson to play him, which is the perfect freaking voice. Okay, number 6, you're going to see a couple of more of the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I think I usually put this one above the first one, but for this list, we'll put it behind it because I think the first one's the more important movie. But I think I Still does what a sequel should do. It ramps up the fun, the action, puts it in like a hurricane setting. Brandy is so charming in this movie. And I think the ending is kind of stupid, though, with the reveal at the end with it being the fisherman's son. The fisherman, I think it's a killer that doesn't live up to his potential because the look of the fisherman is awesome, but how he always plays out on screen, when you try to compare him to like Ghostface, if you want to say the greats of the 90s, he doesn't really compare story-wise. But he definitely has the visual for sure. And Still is really fun. Which leads us to number 5, I Know What You Did Last Summer, the original. I recently watched this one as well. And boy, did I gain a new appreciation for the first one. I think it's a very solid 90s slasher. And I think it's better than a good portion of the Scream movies. Maybe most of the Scream movies. It just has a very classic feel. And the story, based on the book, and I know there were some definite liberties, so much so that the author of the book didn't really like the movies. This plays out more like a mystery than it does just like a slasher movie. It really feels like a mystery, and you can feel the stress and the struggle that Julie James is going through in that first movie. And it's a beautifully shot film too. Okay, number 4, Panic Room. I've seen Panic Room so many times. I'm a Fincher nut. I freaking love David Fincher. I love just the one location vibe of this movie. It is shot gorgeous. I mean, you can pretty much say that with any David Fincher movie, but I love how the camera moves in the moments where it's trying to travel through the house. And you can tell that there was some like digital trickery going on. But it's so cool looking, and it's just so creative and inventive, and that's what I love about David Fincher. His shots, he probably looks at them in so many different ways, but in his words, there's only one way, the right way to shoot a shot. That's his opinion, and I respect his opinion for sure. But great performances by Jodie Foster, Lawrence Fishburne, Kristen Stewart, Jared Leto's in here. He might be the most annoying in the movie, but I think he's supposed to be annoying, so yeah. But Dwight freaking Yoakam is in the movie and does a damn good job, for sure. Number 3, Hush. I reviewed Hush when I first started my channel, and I think that was one of the first new release reviews that really took off for me. Like, that thing got a ton of views. I don't know why, but it happened. And I never watched the movie again ever since. And I know there was like some... I don't know about controversy, but the movie just kind of disappeared and there was no like physical release. And, everybody was talking about it in like the physical media world for a while. But it is on Tubi right now. And I do believe they did come out with an actual 4K of the movie recently. But I watched it on Tubi. And man, did I forget how great this freaking movie is. Mike Flanagan directed this, beautifully. And I think Kate Siegel carries this entire movie. She is a deaf person in the movie, and she is faced with this stalker, this killer who just relishes and loves the kill. And he brings his like bow and arrow and everything, but he's just taunting her throughout the entire movie, and even tells her, I could get you right now. I could literally break this glass and I could come through there, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait because I want you to suffer. And he's just a demented killer, a great killer. And what's cool is he takes off the mask like in the first act of the movie. The last act of this movie is so damn pulse pounding and just great. And I love the choices that Mike Flanagan takes with not only direction but also the story, and how there will be moments where she will kind of like, okay, should I run out or should I stay in here? She goes through all these scenarios in her head, and we get to see her scenarios. And the first time you think that it's actually happening, and then you quickly realize she's, figuring it all out. So this is a very intelligent person, and I like that she even tells herself she can't like physically beat the guy. She has to use her brain. She has to use her wits. But man, this movie is so great. I forgot how great Hush is. Number 2, Amy Bradley is Missing. This movie was just heartbreaking. It's a documentary on Netflix right now. I tell you, that's one great thing about Netflix. They have so many great documentaries. And man, is this one just gripping. And it's one of those documentaries like you want a certain end result. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm sure a lot of you know about this story. There's been quite a few TV shows about it, documentaries. The parents were on Dr. Phil looking for her. But it's gripping. You know, there's definitely stages in this story, and I think that's one reason why it has stayed in the public consciousness. And it's interesting because they were on a cruise ship, and her father literally saw her, and then he leaves for 5 minutes and comes back, and she's gone at like 5:30 in the morning. And, you know, she just vanished. So this was really gripping, and I could not look away. Three episodes, and you will not be able to walk away from the TV. And number 1 is Together. I just saw this movie the other night. Another movie I can't get out of my head. There's some crazy body horror in this movie, but I think it has just really strong performances by Dave Franco and Alison Brie. I love the character work with these characters, I guess. You feel for Dave Franco's character, but you also feel for her. You see kind of both sides of what's going on in the movie. And it's also a great like sci-fi body horror type trip where they're gravitating towards each other. Some of the shots in this movie almost look demonic, especially if you look at the trailer, but it's not like, a demonic type of movie. It's just their bodies are wanting to become one, and they're trying to avoid that. And the story definitely takes some turns along the way, and it keeps you guessing. And I think we all know how it's going to end up, without spoiling anything. It's definitely the acid trip movie of the year, I think, that you will not be able to get out of your head. It's kind of the substance of the year. I'd say the substance light. So yeah, that's it. I gave you 14 movies. Yeah, 14 movies for the month of July. Let me know down in the comments what you watched. And you don't even have to include new releases. Let me know some of the other movies that you watched, right? I'm sure October is going to be a fun list because I'll be watching a lot of horror, probably all horror. So I'm looking forward to getting to that one. But it's been fun doing these monthly. Help out the algorithm. Give me the likes. Subscribe if you haven't. These are the videos I want to do well because I enjoy doing them so much. So do me a solid, okay? Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day on Fridays. We do FIFA Fridays. Follow my Drumdums on my socials. Support me on Patreon. Become a channel member. Buy me a coffee. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Every day, Drumdum out.